Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It is 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's earlier than usual. It's earlier because I've been up all night watching the weekly world news, the news channels. I haven't spent any time shaving or any of the stuff I usually do to look good on the channel. I haven't done the usual stuff to get myself a good argument. When I do this channel, I try to come on here and I look to people that are mentors to me, like Bo, like David Pakman, and present an intelligent conversation, an intelligent argument to you guys. I don't want to be somebody that comes on here and just does some kind of sloppy, secondhand, half-ass reporting of what's going on. That's not what I want to do. It's not doing anybody any good. I want to come on here with my own argument. What I think in my head, the reasoning that what I'm seeing and the argument that's going on in my head, I want to present it to you guys because I think a lot of you are thinking the same thing I am as an average American. That's what I do when I come on here. Over the last month, you've probably seen me get a little down, a little depressed, a little angry. And I've reached a point now where I'm just pissed. Let me talk about this. All right. Over the weekend, I talked about this yesterday. Trump was in Florida, all right, at his own golf resort, as the Democrats and Republicans argue, trying to hammer out a stimulus bill to get this country up again. We're sinking further and further into this abyss. The thing is, there's no cohesive plan. I think more people are wearing masks. Some of this, Florida looked, slightly better. As opposed to having numbers of 11,000 new cases a day, the death rate is still incredibly high, a record number of deaths. But instead of 10,000 new cases, there's 9,500. Louisiana looked a little better. Arizona looked slightly better. And I think that has nothing to do with the president. I think it has nothing to do with the government. I think the people are finally waking up and realizing that masks work. All right, this is why I'm so angry. He spent the weekend at his golf resort. When he took office, do you guys remember him saying, do you remember him busting Obama endlessly about Obama's on the golf course? When I'm president, I'll never golf. I'll be too busy working. Do you guys remember that? And I've seen all these comments. I've seen the Trump enablers every week, every day on Twitter, on Facebook, trying to defend him. Well, he works so hard and he does work while he's on the golf course. These enablers, this nonsense, defending this guy that's spending all his time on the golf course. All right, and it's not just spending his time on the golf course. He's become the heckler. He's become a heckler of his own government. He's become a heckler of of trying to make America get better again, get well, by retweeting this insane doctor and mocking the nation's health expert. He's become like a heckler. It's like he's actually trying to work against America getting better and getting back on track. And he just keeps throwing this nonsense, these conspiracy theories, keeps calling names, heckling the Democrats, heckling the Republicans. The Republicans thank God they finally stood up to him with this delay the election thing. And now look what he's doing. He's saying, because he has no clue. He has no clue. First he says, well, it's a good idea. You can tell he's serious, because he keeps floating this idea. Maybe we should delay the election. Republicans say, no, we're going to have the election on time. Now he's saying, not only do I want the election on time, you know what? I want it right now. Let's have the election now. This is a man that has no plan. He just spews nonsense. And not only nonsense, but he's become a heckler of the country. Like he's working against the country getting better. And I'm not just saying this because, like I've said, I have nothing against Republicans. I vote a Republican. I'll vote Republican again. This man, Donald Trump, is just not well. And it's like he's working against the country. He's become a heckler. He has no clue. You know what I truly believe? I truly believe at this point it's become obvious after 3.5 years. I believe that the Trump supporters kind of gave up on the traditional politician. And they saw Trump as a personality, as a TV star, as a personality, almost like a sports team. And they didn't put any of the normal considerations into intelligence and knowledge of world affairs that people usually do when they elect a president. They looked at him as a personality, somebody that talks smack, somebody that talks crap about the other politicians, and they got a kick out of it. Like they were watching a smart guy on TV, and they liked it. They're like, yeah, this guy's different. But they weren't taking in consideration that they were electing him as leader of the world. And karma being what it is, a worldwide pandemic hits, a worldwide economic collapse hits. This is the time, like I said, it's like fate, it's like God, that it's revealed his true colors, that he has no clue. He truly, and the thing is, it's even more than that. It's that he doesn't even care. He really doesn't. He doesn't have a clue, and he doesn't even care. I truly believe that he looked at this job as president, and he was a wise ass, standing on the sidelines saying, I could do better than that. Look at that, the guy's a fool. And everybody and the Trump supporters got behind him and said, yeah, those politicians are fools. You're right. And they liked his personality. They liked his wise ass attitude. But they didn't take into consideration that he didn't have any plan himself. Or he's a good talker. You know, and he would throw out these things like, if I were president, I'd do this or I'd do that. But it wasn't really a plan. It was just smack talk. And now that they put him in as president, they don't want to look foolish. They still hear him smack talking, and a lot of them are still falling for it. But it's become obvious. Like they say, what they say, the emperor has no clothes? Oh my God, this guy is buck naked. It's become obvious. This pandemic and this economic situation we're in has made it brutally honest that this guy has no idea what he's doing. And not only does he have no idea, but he gets angry at the people that do have the ideas and rational ways to solve it, like Dr. Fauci. He doesn't want to be upstaged. He knows that he's failing. He knows that it's become obvious that he's nothing but a wise guy, a smack talker, a personality with no intelligence, no rational plan, no real knowledge of the Constitution of America, of history, of the world. None. He sounded good when he was on the sidelines talking crap about the people that were in charge. He sounded, he was good enough to fool a lot of people. But now that he's in charge, nothing, man, nothing. And the thing is, he's so arrogant that he refuses, he gets angry if any of this starts to show. So he chops down anybody that's starting to show that he has no plan, that he has nothing but smack talk, nothing but name calling, nothing but heckling. That's all he's doing. And then he starts presenting these conspiracy theories, the hydroxychloroquine. Again, seriously, what is the story with that? It's been proven. Either somebody's getting filthy rich off this drug, or they're just insane, or they have no clue on what to do, or they're really trying to just crash America. It's become obvious. So he's in Florida. He's golfing. There's pictures of his fat, waddling ass going under the umbrellas with the big white gut and his big ass and that USA hat and all his newspapers so he can read what people are saying about him. And he's just heckling as the politicians are arguing. They need leadership right now for the rent, for the stimulus. And he's not even involved. All he's doing is standing on the sideline heckling. And what he was doing in Florida, he was talking about how bad Joe Biden's America's going to be. There's going to be anarchists, and they're going to take over the country. There's going to be lawlessness. Look at the country now. 4 years ago, he sat on the sidelines and said, I could do better than that. Okay, in 2008, man, it's a fact. When Obama took office, the economy started going up. Things started getting better. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, nah, you've been saying that for years, but it's a fact, man. I'm not going to show you guys the graphs. I've done it in videos before. You could look at all the evidence. Things were getting much better. By 2016, the economy had been climbing for 8 years. 6 years, I'm sorry. It had been climbing for six or 8 years, straight up. And Trump stood on the sideline and said, I can do better than these guys. There was a lot of people that didn't like a black man in office, and they believed him. They believed him. They didn't want a politician. They listened to this smack-talking wise guy on the sideline, this fast-talking New Yorker, and said, yeah, you know what, this guy's great. And they looked at him like they were supporting a team or a personality, but they didn't take into consideration that there was nothing behind it. It was all smoke and mirrors. So he's in Florida, and he's just heckling, and he's talking about how terrible Biden's America is going to be. Look at what's going on now. In 2016, he came out saying, look, I can do so much better. I'm going to do things differently. Look at where we are right now, 4 years later. You know what he's saying now? Well, if you don't elect me now, things are going to get so much worse. It's ridiculous. And he's in Florida, the new hotspot, the new ground zero for this virus that is just leveling our economy, killing thousands of Americans every day. Doesn't even talk about it. He's in the hotspot of the entire country. Doesn't even talk about the stimulus bill, about evictions. Evictions aren't going to just affect renters and the minimum wage people and minorities. When these people start getting evicted, the people that own those properties aren't going to get paid. What do you think is going to happen then? They're not going to make their mortgages. What do you think is going to happen then? The same thing that happened in 2008. It's not going to trickle down. It's going to trickle up. The chaos, it's going to trickle up. And the banks are going to collapse. That's where we're headed. Does Trump talk about any of this? No. It's just, oh, bad. Biden's America is going to be terrible. It's going to be mayhem. It is mayhem right now. And he's just ignoring it. Heckling from the sideline. Just that's all he does. That's all he did in 2016. A man that wants to postpone the election. Is that a man that sounds like he thinks he's going to win? A man that constantly starts talking about, there's going to be widespread. It's going to be a fake election. Tell me, does that man sound like a man that's going to win? No, that sounds like a loser. That is loser talk. He already knows he's going to lose. Who else would say, we got to postpone the election because it's going to be a fake election? If he thought he was going to win, he wouldn't be saying that. He wouldn't be saying that at all. And it has nothing to do with voter fraud. They're trying to suppress the vote harder than anybody's ever seen in America before. The stuff they're doing is stuff out of a George Orwell book. This has to go. The time for polite conversation is over. The time for crying about America is over. It's time to get angry and get this guy the hell out of there. Because the Republicans aren't going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. We have to do it. We have to demand it. Postpone the election, all right? This is the one last point I want to make. Then he flips around. No, I want the election on time. No, you know what? I want the election ahead of time. This is what he's been doing through the whole presidency. He has no clue what he's doing. One day he says this, next day he says that. And as usual, the Trump enablers find a reason for it. Well, he's playing 4D chess. He's trying to throw people off. He's playing the libs. No, he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He is the leader of the free world, and he has no idea what he's doing. And what he's doing is creating uncertainty. People fear change, but they fear uncertainty even more. It's not good for anybody. And you Trump supporters could say anything you want, but uncertainty is not good for America, and it's certainly not good for the economy. And what do we have right now? A man that is just creating mass uncertainty, who's heckling from the sideline and ignoring the elephant in the room, the pandemic and the economy collapsing around his head. And all he's talking about is Biden's America's going to be scary. This guy's got to go, man. The time for polite conversation is over. It's time to get this guy the hell out of there. In Florida, golfing. Do you guys remember that? Oh, I'm going to be too busy to golf. You won't see me on the golf course. That's all you ever see him at is on the golf course. And he's not working. Heckling. That's all he does. Just a mouth. Just concerned about himself. Enriching himself. He's done it. He's got all he can grab, and he's ready to run out the door. Have the election now. Have it later. I don't care. I want to lose anyway. Let me grab everything I can grab and get the hell out of here and go back to my resort with my rich friends. Guy's got to go. All right. You guys have a good Monday.